This is just parts of my books of shadows that I hand wrote many Egyptian stories I translated, copied, etc., many years ago. Looking for one on Isis, the mother of deception, so that way I could read it to you, because it was always one of my favorite stories. And I think it is this, so The Legend of Ra and Isis. But I shall start another video and read it fresh because it's long. Peace out. The Legend of Ra and Isis. The chapter of the divine and mighty God who created himself, who made the heavens and the earth, and the breath of life and fire, and the gods, and men and beasts, and cattle and reptiles, and fowl of the air and fish, is the King of men and gods who existed in one form, to whom periods of 120 years are as single years, whose names by reasons of the multitude are unknown, for even the gods know them not. Behold, the goddess Isis lived in the form of a woman, who had the knowledge of the words of power. Her heart turned away in disgust with the millions of men, and she chose for herself the millions of gods, but esteemed more highly the millions of spirits. Was it not possible to become even as Ra is in heaven and upon earth, and to make herself mistress of the earth and a mighty goddess? Thus she meditated in her heart. By the knowledge of the name of the holy God, behold, Ra entered heaven each day at the head of his mariners, establishing himself upon the double throne of the two horizons. Now the divine one had become old. He dribbled at the mouth, and he let his emissions go forth from him upon the earth, and his spittle fell upon the ground. This Isis kneaded in her hand with some dust, and she fashioned it in the form of a sacred serpent, and made it to have the form of a dart, so that none might be able to escape alive from it. And she left it lying upon the road wherein the great god Ra traveled, according to his desire, about the two lands. When the holy god rose up in the tabernacle of the gods, in the great double house, life, strength, and health among those who were in his train, and as he traveled along his way according to his daily wont, the holy serpent shot his fang into him, and the living fire was departing from the god's own body, and the reptile destroyed the dweller among the cedars. And the mighty God opened his mouth, and the cry of his majesty, life, strength, and heart, reached into the heavens. And the company of God said, What is it? And his God said, What is the matter? And the God found no words wherewith to answer concerning himself. His jaws shook, his lips trembled, and the poison took possession of all his flesh, just as happy the nice taketh possession of the land through which he floweth. Then the great God made from his heart, and took courage, and he cried out to those who were in his following, Come ye unto me, O ye who have come into being from my members. Ye gods who have proceeded from me, I would make you to know what hath happened. I have been smitten by some deadly thing, of which my heart hath no knowledge, and which I have neither seen with my eyes, nor made with my hands. And I have no knowledge at all who hath done this to me. I have never before felt any pain like unto it, and no pain can be worse than this is. I am a prince, and a divine nation, which was produced from a God. I am a great one, the son of a great one, and my father hath determined for me my name. I have multitudes of names, and I have multitudes of forms, and my being existed in every God. I have seen environed by Tamu and Heru and Hekenu. My father and my mother uttered my name, and they hid it in my body at birth, so that none of those who would use it against me, those words of power, might succeed in making their enchantments have dominion over me. I have come from my tabernacle to look upon that which I had made, and was making my way through the two lands which I had made. When a blow was aimed at me, but I know not of what kind, behold, is it fire? Behold, is it water? My heart is full of burning fire, my limbs are shivering, and my members have darting pains in them. Let there be brought into my children the gods who possess words of magic, whose mouths are cunning in uttering them, and whose powers reach up into the heaven. Then his children can come unto him, and every god was there with his cry of lamentation, and Isis came with her words of magic, and the place of her mouth was filled with the bread of life, for the words which she putteth together destroyeth diseases, and her words make to live those whose thoughts are choked the dead. And she said, What is this, O divine Father? What is it? Hath a serpent shot his venom into thee? Hath a thing which thou hast fashioned life into lifted up its head against thee? Verily it shall be overthrown by beneficent words of power, and I will make it to retreat into the sight of the rays. The holy God opened his mouth, saying, I was going along the road and passing through the two lands of my country, for my heart wished to look upon what I have created. When I was bitten by a serpent which I did not see, behold, is it fire? Behold, is it water? I am colder than water, I am hotter than fire. All my members sweat, I myself quake, my eyes sight is unsteady. I cannot look at the heavens, and water forceth itself on my face as in the time of the induation. And Isis said unto Ra, O my divine Father, tell me thy magical name, for he who has been able to pronounce his name liveth. And Ra said, I am the maker of the heavens and the earth. I have knit together the mountains, and I have created everything which existed upon them. I am the maker of the waters, and I have made Meteor to come into being. I have made the bull of his mother, and I have made the joys of the love to exist. I am the maker of heaven, and I have made to be hidden the two gods of the horizon, and I have placed the souls of the gods within them. I am the light being who opened his eyes, and the light cometh. I am the being who shutteth his eyes, and there is darkness. I am the being who giveth the command, and the waters of happy, the Nile burst forth. I am the being whose name the gods know well. I am the maker of the hours and the creator of the days. I am the opener of the festivals and the maker of the floods of water. I am the creator of the fire of life, whereby the words of the house are caused to come into being. I am Kephra in the morning, and Ra at the time of his cumulation at noon, and Mu in the evening. Nevertheless the poison was not driven from its course, and the great God felt no better. Then Isis said unto Ra, Among the things which thou hast said unto me, thy name hath not been mentioned. O declare thou it unto me, and the poison shall come forth. For the person that hath declared his name shall live. Meanwhile the poison blazed with flaming fire, and the heat of thereof was stronger than that of the blazing flame. Then the majesty of Ra said, I will allow myself to be searched through by Isis, and my name shall come forth from my body and go into hers. Then the divine one hid himself from the gods, and the throne in the boat of millions of years was empty. And it came to pass that when it was time for the heart to come forth from the God, she said unto her son Horus, the great God shall bind himself by an oath to give his two eyes. Thus was the great God made to yield up his name, and Isis, the great lady of enchantments, said, Flow on poison and come forth from Ra. Let the eye of Horus come forth from the God and shine outside his mouth. I have worked, and I made the poison to fall to the ground, for the venom hath been mastered by myself. Verily the name hath been taken away from the great God. Let Ra live, and let the poison die. And if the poison live, then Ra shall die. And similarly a certain man, the son of a certain man, shall live, and the poison shall die. These are the words which shall spare Isis, the great lady, the mistress of the gods, and she had known legend of Ra in his own name. The above word shall be set over an image of Temu and an image of Haru Hekenu, and over an image of Isis and an image of Horus. And this is how Mother Isis got the name Mistress of Deception, among many other names of hers. Peace out, people.